Good evening, student. I'm so sorry I disturbed you to send my video in this evening, and I'm so sorry because of the technical problem. We cannot use the Zoom session very well, but I'm trying to do my best. So in this evening, I make a video for you. Um, I will tell you about the speaking to inform, the material that must discuss in this meeting in the Zoom session. But it's no problem. I'm trying to discuss together with you. Okay? Our theme today is about the speaking to inform. Like what I have delivered to you in the first meeting, that there are some goals of speech. Yeah. But the first, we have the speech to inform, and then we have speech to pursue, we have speech to propose and report, and the last we have speech for sell. Yeah, and from many goals in this slide, we will focus on the speech for informing. Okay, informative speech. Yeah, informative speech is uh, depend on who the doer or the worker. If the actor is the businessman, maybe they will explain the next year's budget. If the speaker is the architect, they will review the plan for a new building. And if the speaker is union leader, they will discuss about a new contract. And if the speaker is church worker, they will outline plans for a fund drive. So competence will prove valuable to you throughout your life. And if you are the students, maybe you must be able to deliver the informative speech about the academical thing. Okay, for the fourth slide, we are going to discuss about the meaning of informative speech. Informative speech, yeah, it is a speech designed to convey knowledge and understanding. And then uh, there are some criteria, yeah, some criteria if we want to deliver the speech or informative speech. The first, our speech must be accurate, yeah, and then it must be clear, and it must be meaningful and interesting. So it is the criteria for the informative speech. Okay. The point of the informative speech is um, we give the information to the people or to the listener. And then the type of information speech, yeah, there are some type. The first, the speech about object, yeah, when we give the information, yeah, there are some type. The first is speech about objects, yeah, and then speech about process, speech about event, and speech about concept. Yeah. So from the many types in this slide, we as the speaker is trying to deliver the meaning or the information about object, process, event, and concept. Next, the speech about objects. Okay, we discuss about speech about object. Object means anything that is visible, tangible, and stable in form. So here we as the speaker is trying to deliver the information about anything that is visible, tangible, and stable in form. Form of object can be part or below, and it is the example subject for speeches about object. The first, Grand Canyon. Do you know Grand Canyon? It is the beautiful place in West Java. It calls as object, yeah. And then human eye, seaweed, yeah, comic strips, stocks market, U.S. Army, and GPS navigation. And then we, as the speaker, must determine the purposes of our speech. Yeah, for the first, we deliver the speech. Yeah, we determine the purpose to inform our audience about the geological feature of Grand Canyon. It is the example of determining the purpose. So before we have the speech, we must determine the purpose. The second, we inform our audience about the role of Elizabeth Cady Station in the U.S. women's rights. And the third, we inform our audience what to look for when buying a GPS navigation device. Okay, it is the example of determining the purposes of the speech. For the next, yeah, it is the example of uh, determining the purpose. Yeah, we must divide our speech into some point. We must, for the first, we must determine the central ideas, yeah, and then we must also determine the main points. The central idea, yeah, it is the main idea of our speech, yeah. uh, if our specific purpose is to inform our audience about the major achievement of Frederick Douglass, we can give the central idea. Although born in slavery, Frederick Douglass became one of the greatest figures in American history. And we can break down our central idea into some main points. The first, Douglass spent the first 20 years of his life as a slave in my land. And second, after escaping to the North, Douglass became a leader in the abolitionist movement to end slavery. And the third, during Civil War, Douglass helped establish black regiment in the Union Army. Next, we must, yeah, the first, limit our speech to between 2 and 5 main points, and then keep main point spirit. Try to use the same pattern of wording all main point, and then balance the amount of time devoted to each main point. The second, if the first we uh, talk about the speech about object, uh, the second we talk about speech about process. Here, a process is a systematic series of action that leads to a specific result or product. So here we are trying to give the information about a process. Okay, the key point, if the first we have to speak about the object, yeah, we deliver the object, information about the object. In the second, we deliver the information about the process. And then speeches about process explain how something is made, how something is done, and how something works. Yeah, it called as process. Yeah, so it is the example of statement. We have the what we call the theme of the speech. Yeah, to inform the audience how hurricanes develop, and then to inform audience how to write an effective job resume, and to inform how to choose a study abroad program, and to inform the audience how US currency is made. It is some purpose, yeah, some purposes of the speech, especially in the speech of purposes. And then it is the example of the determining the central idea. Yeah, a traditional Bengali wedding consists of a series of rituals that take place before, during, and after the wedding ceremony. It is the idea or the theme of the speech. We can break down this kind of idea into some main points. Yeah, the first is pre-wedding ritual include giving gifts to the bride and groom and dressing the bride in the traditional fashion. It is some kind of the main points. Next, it is in the process, in the written, it is like the procedure text. Do you still remember procedure? I hope you still remember. And the third, uh, speaks about the events. Yeah, in the third, yeah, we deliver the information about the event. Event means anything that happens or is regarded as happening. Yeah, it is the statement, example statement about events or purposes of the speech in event to inform our audience of the festivities at Mexico's Cinco de Mayo celebration. Yeah, it is the example. And the next, yeah, it is the example of what we call events. Yeah, example of events. It is Holocaust, civil rights movement, Cinco de Mayo, mountain climbing, job interview, tsunamis, and battle of Little Big Horn. It is the example of the event. Yeah. So here we try to deliver the information regarding to the event. Yeah. It is the example of determining purposes in event. Yeah. For example, specific purposes to inform audience about the history of Paralympic. So the central idea can be Olympic-style games for the athlete with physical disabilities. Yeah, it is the central idea. And from these central ideas, we can break down into main point what will eventually become the Paralympic game. Yeah, the first official Paralympic Games. Agreement was signed officially holding in Paralympic game. So in the main point, yeah, main point here is broken down into the body. Do you still remember the material that I have delivered in the first meeting? Yeah, the main point is on the body. So in the structure of speech, there are introduction, body, and then conclusion. Yeah. So it is on the body. The next speech is about concept. Yeah. It is the next speech about concept. Yeah. Concept here include beliefs, theories, ideas, principle, or event. So it is the example of concept. Yeah, example Confucianism. Yeah, numerology, philosophies of education. Yeah, it is about the concept. So here we ask the speaker want to deliver about the information in concept. Yeah, it is the example of uh, the statement. Okay, it is the example purpose. Yeah, inform audience about basic principle of Islam. Yeah, so we deliver about the Islam, information about Islam. Yeah, central idea, belief of Islam, and we break down the central idea into some main points here. So uh, this is the tips, yeah, to success the informative speech. Yeah, don't ever estimate the audience. No, relay the subject directly to the audience. Don't be too technical. Avoid abstraction and personalize your idea. Okay, I think enough for my presentation. Yeah, I hope you can understand.